the effective assessment of situation.
Excuse me, Rocky, may echo ka, may echo.
Hello? Okay na. Meron pa po, sir.
Please proceed.
Next slide, please. Okay, leadership on board ship. So, let me read the statement first. Okay, leaders on a ship direct, coordinate, and supervise the activities of their team. Leadership as a special component of a safe operations at sea. Leadership is an art, a skill, a discipline, and a mindset, all of which can be learned and improved with practice. Leaders are necessary to provide directives and oversee the group. So when it comes to leadership, this is a kind of action that takes the full responsibility of handling people or say under their command. So this is also a action that you supervise the job or giving job orders or a specific task to a specific workmates under your command. Okay, so next slide please. Leadership on board ship. So let me read first. The concept of leadership is represented by the captain, the main authority on board a ship over the deck department and engine department. The effective team leader ensures that he or a designated safety observer maintains some distance from team's activities in order to monitor behavior. So we can see the chart here. It states that there is a ranking from highest to lowest on board the ship. So let me read to you the crew that it takes the leadership. So obviously the master or the captain, the chief officer, second officer, and the third officer. So these are the officers that assigned to take care the deck department. So in the engine department or the engine officers, the chief engineer, second engineer, third engineer, and fourth engineer. So these officers that I mentioned, they are the assigned to supervise, to take care the full responsibility of maintaining the whole vessel at all costs. So this is Khaled Moraga, and next reporter please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ornella speaking. What makes a good leader? People and relationship are more important in a leadership than tasks. Tasks are important, but the main role of the good leader is to motivate and inspire others to do their jobs well. You must be able to manage and be the role model of the leaders. First is engage. Leadership behavior that facilitates, strengthens, connects, and inspires employees in order to increase their work engagement. As a leader engaged, they choose to choose the effective solution where others could or did not. They energize others by spreading effective motivation and keeping people focused on purpose and vision to connect and stabilize groups by listening, staying calm, and they serve and develop by others by inspiring and encouraging to develop them. Second is the communicative. It refers to the way of leader communicates with their or his employees. As a communicative leader, engage employees in conversations, actively shares, and seek feedback. To influence and inspire your team, for example, you must practice You must practice empathy and transparency, as well as understand how others recognize you through verbal and nonverbal cues. Number 3, collaborative. It is a management practice in which members of a leadership team work together across sectors to make decisions and keep their organization thriving. A collaborative leader requires the sharing of information and responsibility. This allows people in organizations to participate in decision making, and the collaborative decision making leads to a responsibility to put discovered solution into an actions. Number 4, upstanding. Lead with consistency of character. At the center of all great leadership are two interconnected qualities. These are consistency and character. Upstanding leaders act in a specific way because they know what's right. Consistency and characteristics are the magic keys to success in any field. They focus on what must be done for the good of the organization and achieve the goal greater than any one person's preferences. The last is empowering. Empowering share power with their subordinates, giving them decision making and authority. Empowering leadership is a set of behaviors with the leader share power or assign more responsibilities to his or her followers by making more meaningful, expressing confidence in high performance, and encouraging participation in decision making. And those leaders inspire their teams to be the best version of themselves, both professionally and personally. Next slide. State of situation awareness. The perception of the elements in the environment within a volume of time and space, the comprehension of their meaning, and the projection of their status in the near future. Situational awareness is achieved when you have accurate perceptions of events both inside and outside your vessel. This situational awareness is divided into 3 levels. Level 1 is the perception, which requires you to observe or recognize in a change in situation and evaluate the changes in the environment. Next is level 2, comprehension. This is that you must understand the meaning of the changes and comprehend its impact. The last is level 3, projection. This is the ability to accurately predict the status or the future situations. And after stating the awareness in those 3 levels, you can proceed to make a decision and take an action. That's all. This is Bernal speaking. Next presenter, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Cadet Primo speaking. Situational awareness is being aware of what is happening around you in terms of what you are, where you are supposed to be, and whether anyone or anything around you is a threat to your health and safety. Situational awareness is important to anyone. It is important that everyone is aware of their surrounding and the potential hazard they face. It is important to each individual is looking out for his or in her own safety as well as looking out for their workmates. Next, the Islam technique. The following techniques show how you can enhance your situational awareness, giving you extra skill to prevent yourself and other on site from coming to harm. Islam Islam consists of 4 simple steps. Stop. Engage your mind before your hand. Look. The task in hand. Look. At your workplace, find hazard to you and your teammates. Report them immediately. immediately to your supervisor. Assist the effect that the hazard have on you, the people you work with, equipment, procedure, pressure, and the environment. Ask yourself if you have the knowledge, training, and tools to do tasks safely. Do this with your supervisor. And last, the manage. If you feel unsafe, stop working. Tell your supervisor and workmates. Tell your supervisor that actions you think are necessary to make the situation safe. Next presenter. Next presenter.
Good afternoon, everyone. Cadet Regalado speaking. 3 level of situational awareness. Situational awareness helps error prevention and performance improvement. Endlessly identifies 3 steps that characterize situational awareness. Number 1. Receiving. Receiving relevant information depend on access to information and recognizing this information. Communication and visualization of information are crucial to ensure these steps is possible. Number 2, understanding. Comprehending relevant information is the key to dealing with the information properly. Mental model helps understand information, but their validity depends on information completeness. 3. Predicting. The information received and understood help predicted future outcomes. Complex systems make prediction difficult. Flawed mental models influence wrong assumptions. Constant re-evaluation and adaptation of mental model is crucial. Next slide. Situational understanding is the product of applying analysis and judgment to relevant information to determine the relationship among the mission variables to facilitate decision making. Understanding. Being aware of context, implication, and consequences of particular circumstance after detailed analysis and judgment. Situational awareness. Being aware of the situation generally from available source, data and knowledge. Next reporter.
And be used to initiatives, target audiences, and activities of a health promotion strategy. So situational assessment, this is the first step for us to gather or to get the information we need to communicate the data or to take all out the data and inform the planning decisions so we can know what first step we can do. The first thing to do in a situational assessment is to identify. Next is to review. Next is to control. And lastly is to evaluate. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. Risk assessment. It is an examination of a task or job that may be carried out on board to identify the presence of hazards that may cause harm to people, property, or the environment. Here are the examples of hazards: fire, explosions, natural hazards, hazardous materials,
Any harm that does occurs less serious. You need to make sure that you have reduced risk so far as reasonably practicable. Next, record your findings. At this stage, you should have identified measures you are already taking to keep your staff safe, as well as actions that you could take to improve things further. You need to decide how you are going to put these actions in place. Remember, it is action and not paperwork that protects people. This assessment is a means to an end, not an end in itself. Lastly, review the risk assessment and update if necessary. Your risk assessment should be reviewed regularly to ensure that the risk of staff being harmed by work-related violence has not changed and that no further control measures are needed. It should also be reviewed if any changes occur in your business that may increase the risk of violence, loan working, business change in the nature of your work to do. Let's watch the videos.